Hello, Running Fit fam. This week we are back with 5 hip mobility stretches that you can do before your next long run, which happens to be what I'm doing today. So it is the perfect timing. The reason you're going to care about these hip stretches, they are all variations of the 90-90 hip stretch. Don't worry, we will talk about it. But why these matter? Research shows that when your hip rotation, both internal and external, we will talk, don't panic. When your hip rotation is affected, when it's less, when you don't have as much as you should, you actually run slower. Yes, this means you might not be running as fast as you potentially can because your hips are junk. So let's fix that. I'm not saying you're gonna become Kipchoge overnight. That's not gonna happen. But you just might be able to unlock your next gear. You're gonna be more injury proof. You're gonna run faster. We're gonna get rid of aching, nagging, tight, painful hips. So why not give these a try? I'm also gonna throw in a little bonus hip exercise that I do when one of my hips feels a little crampy. So let's hop in. Pro tip here, don't forget to take your shoes off. You're gonna see me slide mine off real quick because these add a couple extra inches that you don't need to be bothered with. First exercise, this is the basic 90-90 hip rotation. Can you see how I'm keeping my back straight through this entire exercise? This is key here. A lot of people who have poor hip range of motion or mobility will cheat this exercise and get hip motion, but through their low back, and their low back will round. I want you to keep that low back straight the entire time. Once you feel confident, you can flow side to side just like I'm showing you here. You actually have a hot minute to grab your 10-pound weight. I realized my socks were soaking wet from the outdoor turf, and that was gross. So hang tight, take a breather, and we'll get started on the 90-90 hip rotation with weight overhead. Why this exercise is going to be stellar for your tight, cranky hips. When you have this weight overhead, you are actively pushing it up the entire time, keeping your biceps close to your ears. You are engaging your core in an upright posture. Like you need this really good posture for good running form, correct? What happens when you engage your core, your hips also become more mobile. So combining this hip mobility exercise plus core activator plus glute activator, this becomes a dynamite warm-up exercise before any run. We are done with the 10-pound weight, so you can put that off to the side. We're going to be focusing on an exercise that continues to work on the hip mobility, but now specifically targets glute activation. Hang with me here a second. The leg that is in front of you, like you rotate towards that leg. The arm that is opposite of that leg is deliberately reaching forward. You're going to alternate this on both sides. Let it flow. Your body will gradually figure it out. What you're going to see is me pausing right about here. I am feeling a deep stretch in my left glute. And so I'm staying on one side a little bit longer deliberately to breathe into that area. This is what I mean by I like dynamic stretches more than static stretches. When you deliberately breathe into a body part, you focus your breath, you create expansion with your breath. That makes the exercise or the stretch more dynamic and more effective. So if you find that one side feels tighter than the other, or both sides are tight, you can stay in this position and breathe into that tightness, and you will notice it will decrease. Without a doubt, this exercise is my arch nemesis. Can you see this motion right here? This is internal hip rotation. Great on one side, but this side, you can see my face. I am struggle busting. I am cramping. It is not a fun time. So I'm going to show you the bonus exercise right now that I do in order to prevent that cramping. Let this be easy. This is also hip internal rotation, but in a much less aggressive way. All I do is 5 reps on the left, then 5 reps on the right, and then 5 reps together. I repeat this because I can tell I need another round. If you are cramping with the 90-90 internal rotation pulses, that might be because your TFL or I really think it's your glute med, is trying to take over and do the work of small but important internal rotation hip muscles. This exercise gives those itty bitty muscles a jump start so you can perform the real version, the more runnerfied version, without cramping. This last one is my favorite, and you're gonna love it. And I got lots of weird looks, so you're gonna enjoy. This right here is the frog bridge, where you just sit up from that 90-90 position. This right here, this motion is the exercise. You are reaching up and diagonally with the arm that is opposite of the front leg. If you watch it and do it, it will make sense. Your body will figure it out. Can you see how this looks like running up right there? The arm that is reaching forward, that's like your arm swing, the arm coming across your body. And we have this reciprocal leg position where one leg, one knee would be bent forward in a stride, and that back leg is still trailing back behind you. Now, I probably did at least 2 sets of 5 on each side because I was getting used to the movement. But once you become confident, I want you to boom, I want you to move fast, sit up, explode upwards, and then control yourself coming back down right there. This is part of not just building and creating more hip mobility, but now you are actively engaging those glute muscles through the range of motion in order to keep your mobility gains. Thank you so much for joining me, Running Fit Fam. If you enjoyed that, you know what? I would love if you subscribe. That way we can hang out more often. And if you have any requests, comments, concerns, exercises you want to see, you know what to do. Leave them in the comments below and we'll talk. And I'll see you in the next video. Until then, Running Fit Fam, dare to train differently.